guest today is Hannah Edlen, who I've been trying to get on the show forever.
Well, I'm so
Welcome,
glad to
Hannah.
be here. Thank you so much.
As you can see, Hannah has on her crown because she is our former Distinguished Young Woman in Springfield. And is that what that is from?
No, I'm currently.
Is this from the, okay.
I am now the Miss Kentucky Miss Traveling Angels for this year. I was a part of this program right shortly after the Distinguished Young Woman program, and very blessed to be able to serve this position now.
Yeah. Okay, so this crown is from, you've got all kinds of crowns, don't you? So this crown is from, now tell me what that is exactly, Hannah.
So the Miss Traveling Angels pageant is a charity pageant. It was originated from a small girl named Emma Shaw, and she collected suitcases traveling. So suitcases for all these orphans that are in need of somewhere to put their belongings. And so participating in the program, we brought luggages, we brought suitcases, anything that we could donate to these kids in need. And so I was very blessed to be able to participate in it. I had to wear a gown and interview on stage and introduce myself, and was very fortunate just to become.
Now, how did you find out about that program? Because are you going, was this in Louisville? Or?
No, this was actually a few counties over. I can't remember off the top of my head, but there was this woman. Her name was Lindsay Hack, and she's a great woman. She has a young cousin that was in need of a dress, and ironically, I have 4,000 in my closet. And so she and I messaged back and forth, and she bought a few of my dresses, and I bought a few of hers. And she messaged me when this pageant came up, and she's like, "You've got all these great dresses, but what do you use them for?" And I was like, "Prom, junior miss." And she said, "Well, come on out and participate in this pageant. I think you'll do great." And it was my very first pageant, so.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. And so now, of course, you were our Distinguished Young Woman here in Springfield, Washington County, in the program that was at Washington County High School last year.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was when I was, after that, trying to get you on the show. And so you won that, and then you went on to participate in on the state level.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, so you have graduated Washington County High School just this year. And now, what are your plans?
What are my plans? Well, I've got a full ride to Northern Kentucky University. I'll be majoring in psychology and organizational leadership, and I'm so very excited just to go up there and have a new experience. I've been so appreciative to live into a community that, supports me for everything that I've done. The Distinguished Young Woman program, just to touch on that a little bit, was phenomenal. I would never be sitting here with this crown on top of my head if it weren't for that program. It gave me the confidence, and it just made me see a side of me that I never knew that I had. I never knew that I could go out in front of people and wear this big dress and speak so eloquently, or interview, or even just participate in a fitness routine on stage. And it's even encouraged me to better myself in all aspects of my life. So in Northern Kentucky, I'll be in the honors program, and I think I'm going to Rush in the fall. So maybe participate in a sorority or something like that, some sort of organization to be involved. So I'm
well,
excited.
you were obviously involved in a lot of things in high school.
Yes, ma'am.
So I know academically you were in honors program then, correct?
I was actually a governor's scholar. I was one of the two that were selected from my year, myself along with Mary Beth Begley, who's now graduated. She'll be attending the University of Kentucky. I had a phenomenal experience, and that program is just another story beside itself. It's just, it was incredible.
That was the governor's program in, what did you participate?
Actually, it's a 5-week program, and I went to Murray State University. I was selected to go to that school. My focus area was mass media and journalism. Okay. So it was super cool. We got to create a look-back book for everyone with everyone's pictures in it, and articles about what we had done all summer long, just a little memory to take home at the end of the 5 weeks.
Now, and of course, it seemed to me that I remember when you were in the Distinguished Young Woman program, you were involved in a lot of activities within the community and in the school. Can you share some of those?
Yes, I was part of the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, which is our local FCCLA program. Incredible program. I entered it as a freshman in high school. Miss Sarah Rakes and Tracy Blanford kind of took me under their wing. I was in so many officer positions. I was the chapter president, the region first vice. I was a state officer, even a national candidate for the organization. So FCCLA was a phenomenal program. It really taught me a lot of values, especially about community and family and just doing things for your community. We always think that, you know, we want to make this huge difference in this world, and we do, but a lot of us don't realize that we need to start small. It's this change in our small communities that really make a big change overall, and I think that's sometimes where we need to focus our goals on rather than getting so big so quick, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, that's how, and that's how you get big. You know, you start out small, and then you know, develop, and so it's wonderful. I know that FCCLA program is a good start to lots of people to get involved.
Yes.
And to make a difference. You don't realize what a difference you make probably sometimes on other people's lives and in the community just by the little things that you do. So that's really good information.
Well, thank you so much. And I was also part of our National Honor Society. I was on the academic team, just in anything that I guess I could fill my time with. I loved doing. I also started a campaign called Keep Kind Kentucky in our local community where I had purchased 500 t-shirts, and having 500 t-shirts in your room in boxes for a really long time will encourage you to get rid of them. So I collected, I sold all these shirts and I paid off what I owed for the shirts, and then all this money that I received I donated to organizations. I donated to the Traveling Angels. I gave back some to FCCLA. I was very blessed to be able to do that. And
yeah, that was a great idea. That's entrepreneurial, except that you, of course, were donating all those things back to charities and things. So, which is very good, and so it sounds like you're an awfully giving person, Hannah, and that's a wonderful. You are a role model for other young people in our community, and all the time on this program, Community Focus on Washington County, we're always emphasizing the need for people to be involved and to make a difference in their community. And also, you know, we like to recognize people that have given so much to their community, and you are obviously one of those people.
Well,
and that was one of the reasons I thought it was really important to have you on here, because you are a role model to other young people, and we want young people to be involved in their community. And you've mentioned some of the things that you were involved in high school. So it's never too late to start. You know, high school student, grade school. You know.
And believe it or not, I wasn't involved hardly at all in middle school. I was very, what I call low-key, kind of under the radar. I kind of just went to school. I was average. I didn't participate in any program. I cheerleaded a little bit, but I didn't really see the need to get involved much. I was in the Heartland Youth Coalition. That was my very first organization that I really fell in love with. And then entering high school, Sarah Rakes and I we became best friends, and she took me under her wing. And I wanted to be involved in just more than one organization because I have a lot of different values, and different organizations supported those values for me, and because of that I wasn't just able to speak with one group, but I was able to work with everyone and kind of be like, well, hey, we're doing this, you want to help? You all are doing this, well, why don't we do this together? And just, I know our local FCCLA and even our FFA chapter, they're going to come together this year, which is awesome. I know, like, sometimes people see those as two separate entities, but this year we're so excited. We're going to, I know the president, Miss Lakin Hodgins, she's going to rally them together, and
well, that's great.
hopefully we'll be able to do some sort of project.
Yeah. So you're going to help them because that will be the high school group you're speaking of.
Well, where I graduated, of course, Lakin is now the new president. But
Okay.
yeah, I'll be around for sure.
Yeah.
I'm actually where I'm going into organizational leadership. I am going to apply for an internship at the FCCLA National Headquarters and hopefully be an intern throughout different leadership conferences. So
Oh, that's great.
hopefully
Yeah.
it all works out.
Yeah. And are you going to help with Distinguished Young Woman, or did you?
I would definitely love to. I had a phenomenal time with a group of girls that I was so blessed to work with this year. I really was. I grew a bond with them that I didn't think that I would get, and I did. And them hugging me that night on stage just made it all worthwhile.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's really nice, and we're just honored to have you here today and to discuss those programs. And you know, it's important that we have our young people involved in these high school organizations and to go on to college and pursue their interests. You think you're going to get in any more pageants?
I definitely think that I will, because one of my friends that I met at Distinguished Young Woman, her name is Laura Hancock, she said, "Guess what, Hannah?" I said, "What?" She said, "I got my entire undergraduate paid for through scholarship programs, or through pageant programs." And I said, "I'm going to do that, because college is not cheap. And if you can use, you know, what abilities you have, a lot of people don't see that. You know, if you've got something that you're good at, use it to better you, to better your future, so that you can be, you know, better off in the end." And if I can participate in pageants and be a role model, I know that there's such a negative stereotype sometimes with pageant people. It's just, but I really do think that it's a matter of perspective and how we look at things. And if you look at something as, you know, you're going to make a difference with the platform that you stand, you know, that's what I want to do. I want to make a difference, and not only for others, but for myself too.
And some of the platforms I suspect that you are interested in, one being the FCCLA and what they stand for, which is with the leadership program that you're going into. And do you have other interests that we're not aware of?
I definitely would love to be a public speaker. That's something that I would love to do for the rest of my life. John Maxwell has been such an inspiration to me. He's a renowned speaker just for his works on leadership and seeing the potential that we have as individuals rather than, you know, picking out our flaws and things like that. So I would love to be a public speaker. I have been invited to so many schools this year to speak on Tearing Down the Wall of Hate. It's a presentation that I've been so fortunate to be able to build and do myself. It's about erasing sort of the language and the words that we attach to individuals that have been so long philosophers, I can't think of it. You know what I'm talking about, that we attach to people.
And so, like, well, just derogatory words.
Yes.
That you associate with different races, creeds, religions. Is that kind of
yes
the what you mean?
The message, for sure. Because I think that, like, one thing that this world needs to understand is that there's not races. There's one race, and it's humanity. And we need to love people for who they are, and not what their color is or where they were born or what religion they are, but because they're people, and because we're all people and we all make mistakes. And I think that once we break down those barriers, that we can truly love one another the way that we need to. We need to love one another. And I think it's hard. It's hard. It's how we were raised, a lot of it. And it's just, it's hard to get rid of those ideas,
those stereotypes
that once were fermented into us, you know.
Yeah, get rid of those kinds of things you were raised with. That, but you know, with the world and the shape it's in these days, Hannah, how does that affect you?
I am the sappiest person alive. I tell you that. I cry probably once a week, a good cry, and just because, you know, I do, you know, one day I do fear, you know, bringing children into a world as chaotic as it is, but I also I have faith in the good Lord, and I know that I can't control everything, and you can't control everything, but we can control what we do as people. And if we choose to make decisions that will better other people, then I truly think that if we all had that mentality, if we worried about ourselves more than we did about what Sally Henson was doing, or what Michael Jordan was doing, or what Taylor Swift was singing, I just do think that this world would be better. Of course, I can't solve anything overnight, but I do think that a change of attitude would definitely help this world.
Well, it sounds like that is what you are doing, trying to make a difference, and you're giving this presentation to different school groups, and so that's certainly making a difference, I'm sure.
It's very exciting to see, especially like when your message has gotten across to youth. I know, like on social media, I've been tagged in posts, you know, so glad Hannah was here, you know, and gave this presentation. It's very humbling to see that, you know, people do.
People are actually paying attention.
Yeah. And sometimes we're so into our phones, and we're so into just, I don't know, it's good to just take a minute and see the good in the world. I mean, it's not bad. I think sometimes we pick out more bad than there is good. And if you notice, the media focuses a lot on the bad more than it does good. I mean, when can you ever turn on the news and see 500 kittens were saved or something, you know? I don't know, something great. It's very little.
Yeah. And focus on the heroes that we have all around us all the time, and are doing things, like you say, little things that you don't even know, and all the good these people are doing in the world. And it's interesting that you would mention about social media and things, and about people being so engrossed in that, because today, you know, I have interviewed the producers with the upcoming film here in Springfield, Sadie and Michaela, and it involves social media, and how, you know, these teenagers have gotten so engrossed in all of that. And so it sounds like what you're telling me is a lot about what the movie's going to be about. Because people are too over-involved in that kind of stuff, instead of trying to make a difference in this world. So I think you're exactly right on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now, so you plan on being in some pageants though too, because you know you're trying to make the money for school. School is expensive. That's a topic, of course, that everyone is discussing these days, about how much our college educations cost. And I was thinking on this the other day. I told somebody when I went to college, it was $250 a semester.
Yeah, now that won't cover the parking pass hardly.
No. So you know, things have the schooling has the prices have just gone up out the top. So I don't know how people are going to afford it. And I think it's wonderful that you're finding ways. I know your parents will be delighted that you're finding ways to provide for your own education.
Well, I know my freshman year of high school, I made it a goal in my mind that I wouldn't have my parents pay for my school. That's not something that I wanted them to do. It's something that I wanted to do, and I wanted to be proud to be able to do it. I didn't want them to have that burden over their head. And not that it is a burden, but money is a strain for a lot of people, and I didn't want it to be for my family. I didn't. And I knew that if I could work my butt off and keep my grades up, and if I can do that in a small community like this, I mean, so many other students can too. It's not about letting opportunities come to you. You can't do that. You have to go find opportunities. And if anything, that's my advice to young people, is you can't sit back. You can't sit back and just let it come to you. It's not going to.
Yeah.
It's not going to.
Yeah. Yeah. So you got to work for it. You
Got
got to go out there and find it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's exactly right. So those are things that you would offer young people, Hannah, that people need to go out and find it. Do you have any suggestions on how they go out and find it?
Get on Google. Get on the good Google and type in opportunities that will enhance or just network. And networking with people is just a phenomenal resource. I mean, I have been given so many opportunities just by knowing people. I know Laura Hancock has invited me to pageants. I've been invited, by going to a pageant, I've been invited to another pageant to come. I've been invited to judge pageants, which is crazy. It's so cool being a distinguished young woman, meeting 33 people, going to Governor's Scholar, meeting people, just being willing to talk to someone, say hello, my name is so and so. People remember that.
Yeah. So getting involved in various organizations at school, keeping your grades up, or working on that, talking with your teachers. You said you and Miss Rakes developed a relationship.
Yep.
So students need to get involved and talk with their teachers.
For sure, for sure. Teachers, I think sometimes students see teachers as the enemy, as, you know, like sometimes teachers want the worst for them, you know, like homework and all this, but I know at Washington County the teachers were all about students. They were. They were all about, you know, what can I do for you? I know they just would pour their heart and soul into it. Miss Kurtzinger for NHS, prom, whatever it was, she wanted to do something for kids. And Miss Powell too, she volunteered to be on the Distinguished Young Woman, you know, chair program. It's just teachers that go out of their way, that do more than just the 8 to 3 o'clock, are the ones that really make a difference in a student's life, because we see that.
Yeah.
We see that.
Yeah, students see that.
They
They
do.
see that.
They see the work that teachers put in, and a lot of the time I don't think teachers notice, but we notice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And that's good to know. And then, you know, you're talking about scholarship opportunities and things like that. People need to realize, just through, you know, they can get information from the guidance counselor and, you know, about all the scholarships available. You know, the Business and Professional Women's Club gives scholarships, one being a community activism scholarship. And so there are opportunities out there, like you say, for scholarships and other things. And
I know myself, I applied for the Hagen Scholarship, which is a huge scholarship. It's basically they grant you full tuition, full ride, anything, wherever in the United States. And I applied for it, and actually I received it. But the funny thing is, it went to my junk mail, and I was unable to receive that scholarship. So another tip is to always check your junk mail when you're applying for scholarships, because you can miss out on opportunities for that. But I was so fortunate to be able to be a Governor's Scholar and have that full ride at Northern Kentucky.
yeah, yeah, that is fabulous.
So.
Well, we're just delighted. I think you've given such great advice today, Hannah, and you are certainly a role model to other young people. And I'm just, I know that we'll be hearing more about you in the future, and I appreciate all the good things that you've done in Washington County and all the things you're going to do in your future. And I just hope when it's all said and done that you come right back here to Washington County.
Well, I definitely couldn't have done it without Washington County, without the support of the mayor, the police officers, the gym, the local gym. I couldn't have done it without any of the businesses. They donated so much to me, and they've just done so much for me as well. So I couldn't be more blessed than to give back.
Yeah. And we certainly must mention your parents, because they have obviously raised a very nice young lady, and your parents' names are
Jennifer and Kevin Edlen, and they are just the.
And wouldn't you could say something to them on the air, Hannah, to if there's anything you'd like to say.
Thanks, Mom and Dad, for all that you've done. You're the coolest. Because they are. That's exactly what I tell to them too. Just very, very informal.
Yeah.
Just because they are. They've gone above and beyond to provide for me and my brother as well. We've been more than blessed. We've been more
Now,
than
what's
blessed.
his name?
Hunter Edlen.
And how old is he?
He's going to be 21 this August, and so I love my brother. My brother is one of my best friends.
Where is he and what's he doing?
He actually just got a big boy job. That's what I call it, at Salt River Electric Company, and he is doing a phenomenal job. He went to lineman school. So you don't have to go to college to be successful. Hunter went to lineman school, and he's doing well for himself. He is. I'm very proud of him.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. College isn't for everybody.
It's
we
not.
all know that. And you know, there's a technical school. There's KCTCS right here in our county, which is a wonderful place to take classes and get training and education. Unfortunately, we just had St. Catherine College close, but you know, we hope in the end that they're going to be able to, or someone's going to take it over and provide some educational services. It's so important to our community. But so you've had a lot of good support here in this county, and I know that we'll continue to support you as you continue on your journey. And look forward to hearing more about you in the future, and wishing you all the best in your endeavors.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for being here today.
Well, I appreciate you for having me.
Thanks.